Francis Ngannou's journey from the dusty streets of Batié, Cameroon, to becoming a global combat sports icon is nothing short of extraordinary. Born and raised in the humble village, Ngannou grew up in poverty with very little formal education. Life took a harsh turn when his parents divorced at the age of 6, and he was sent to live with his aunt. By the age of 10, he was already working in a local sand quarry, hauling heavy loads just to survive. Even at a young age, Ngannou showed remarkable resilience. When local gangs in his village tried to recruit him, he refused, choosing instead to follow a different path. Using his father's negative reputation as a street fighter as motivation to carve out a positive future. At 22, Ngannou decided to chase his dream of becoming a boxer, a passion inspired by the legendary Mike Tyson. Despite the resistance from his family, who feared his path would mirror his father's, Ngannou began his training. But just a year later, his dreams hit a snag due to illness, and he was forced to stop. Life then became a grind of odd jobs to make ends meet. Until, at age 26, he made a bold decision that would change everything. He set off to Paris, France, determined to pursue boxing professionally. The journey was not smooth. He crossed into Europe illegally and spent 2 months in a Spanish jail for crossing the border. When he finally arrived in Paris, he had nothing. He was homeless, alone, and without any money or support. But life threw him another lifeline when he wandered into a local boxing gym, where he met coach Didier Carmont. Carmont saw something in the young man and convinced the gym to allow Ngannou to train for free. Soon after, Carmont introduced Ngannou to MMA, a sport that would forever change his destiny. Through Carmont, he connected with Lo Corba, a non-profit organization, which helped him stay afloat during these tough times. When his gym shut down for the summer, Kater Yenbu, the director of Lo Corba, introduced him to Fernand Lopez, a key figure at the famed MMA factory in Paris. Lopez saw Ngannou's raw potential and convinced him to pivot from boxing to MMA. Lopez not only provided Ngannou with training gear, but also offered him a place to stay at the gym. It was here that Ngannou's meteoric rise in MMA began. Ngannou's transition from aspiring boxer to UFC superstar was nothing short of spectacular. Known for his devastating knockout power, Ngannou quickly became one of the most feared men in the UFC's heavyweight division. 7 of his 14 UFC victories ended in knockouts within the first 2 minutes of the first round, earning him the reputation as the most destructive puncher in the sport. His ascension reached its peak when he claimed the UFC Heavyweight Championship, cementing his place as a global superstar. However, Ngannou's story didn't stop there. After parting ways with the UFC as the reigning heavyweight champion, he signed with the Professional Fighters League, PFL, continuing his journey in combat sports. Despite his incredible success, he remains a symbol of resilience and determination, a man who fought against all odds, literally and figuratively, to reach the pinnacle of his career. He's standing at 6 feet 4 inches and weighing 257 pounds, is a dominant force in combat sports, known for his powerful presence and fearsome punching ability. His success in both MMA and boxing has earned him an estimated net worth of $15 million, driven by high-profile fights and lucrative endorsement deals that showcase his global appeal as a sports icon. About personal life, his journey from humble beginnings in Cameroon to becoming a global combat sports sensation is as inspiring as it is remarkable. Growing up in the village of Batié, Ngannou faced extreme poverty and adversity. Despite these challenges, he not only climbed to the top of the MMA world, but also became a beacon of hope for countless others back home. He speaks Njemba, French, and English, the latter of which he learned after joining the UFC, showcasing his drive to adapt and grow. In April 2024, tragedy struck when Ngannou announced the heartbreaking death of his 15-month-old son, Kobe. While the cause of his son's passing was kept private, this loss underscored the deeply personal challenges Ngannou has faced, even as he continues to be an indomitable force in the world of combat sports. Despite his private nature, this moment revealed his vulnerability and the strength he draws from personal hardship. His philanthropy is as impressive as his athletic accomplishments. In 2018, he established the Francis Ngannou Foundation, initially run entirely on his personal funds, later supplemented by donations. The foundation runs Cameroon's first MMA gym, offering young people the resources and facilities to train professionally. Ngannou's mission isn't limited to sports. His foundation also donates educational materials and sets up computer labs in underserved villages, giving children in Cameroon access to tools that can transform their future. By January 2024, the foundation proudly reported 26,000 beneficiaries, a testament to Ngannou's far-reaching impact. His commitment to helping those in need extends beyond just sports and education. Ngannou has also supported disaster relief efforts, assisting flood victims across Africa. Through all his efforts, he's dedicated to creating sustainable change in his homeland, particularly for vulnerable children who face challenges similar to those he once endured. On the personal front, Ngannou has kept much of his private life out of the spotlight. However, he has been in a relationship with former UFC women's bantamweight champion and current PFL commentator, Miesha Tate, since 2022. While he has no children as of 2023, the loss of his son Kobe has undoubtedly left an indelible mark on his life. From his incredible athletic prowess to his philanthropic initiatives, Francis Ngannou's story is one of resilience, growth, and giving back. About professional life, Francis Ngannou's journey through the world of mixed martial arts and professional boxing is a saga of sheer determination, resilience, and an unyielding refusal to be limited by circumstance. From a young age, he dreamed of becoming a professional boxer, but growing up in extreme poverty, working in sand mines to support his family, that dream seemed impossibly far away. Yet, what he lacked in resources he made up for with an iron will. In 2013, his MMA career officially began in Europe, where he fought in regional promotions, quickly making a name for himself. In December 2015, he exploded onto the global stage, making his UFC debut with a stunning knockout of Luis Enrique. The world was put on notice, and the Predator had arrived. His rise was meteoric. Victories over Curtis Blades, Bojan Mijlovic, and Anthony Hamilton followed in quick succession. Each bout was a brutal showcase of his unparalleled power and ferocity. With each victory, his legend grew. By 2017, Ngannou had set the world record for the hardest punch ever recorded, solidifying his reputation as a terrifying knockout artist. Later that year, he delivered a knockout so vicious against veteran Alistair Overeem that it was instantly hailed as one of the most brutal in UFC history. The win earned him a shot at the UFC Heavyweight Championship, where he faced the seasoned champion, Stipe Miocic. But on the night of January 20th, 2018, the veteran's experience proved too much, and Ngannou lost via unanimous decision. The loss, along with another in a lackluster bout against Derek Lewis, led many to question whether he could reach the heights expected of him. However, as is the case with all great stories, Ngannou's was far from over. He rebounded with devastating knockouts against Curtis Blades, Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Each one a statement, each one quicker than the last. His terrifying power was back in full force, and in March 2021, he earned a rematch with Miocic for the heavyweight title. This time, the result was different. With a new level of patience and refined skills, he knocked out Miocic in the second round to become the UFC heavyweight champion. The victory was not just a win, but a testament to his growth. Proof that Ngannou had learned from past defeats and emerged even stronger. Yet, in a shocking move, he left the UFC in January 2023. He parted ways with the organization after contract negotiations stalled, making history as the first reigning champion to leave the UFC since 2004. Ngannou had demanded health insurance, sponsorship rights for all fighters, and an advocate to be present during contract negotiations, requests the UFC declined. Rather than accept the status quo, he chose to step away from the UFC, a decision that would redefine the landscape of fighter rights. In May 2023, Ngannou signed a groundbreaking deal with the Professional Fighters League (PFL). The terms of his contract were unprecedented. Not only would he be fighting in the PFL's super fight division, but he also secured a $2 million minimum payout for his opponents and joined the PFL's Global Advisory Board. Furthermore, he was named chairman of PFL Africa, aiming to create opportunities for African fighters like himself. This was more than just a new chapter in his career. It was a revolution in the way fighters negotiate their worth and future in the sport. While MMA was the foundation of his career, his sights had always been set on boxing. And in October 2023, he stepped into the ring with undefeated heavyweight champion Tyson Fury in a highly anticipated bout. Fury gave Ngannou a chance, yet he shocked the world by knocking Fury down in the third round. Although the judges awarded Fury a controversial split decision victory, Ngannou's performance was hailed as extraordinary for a man making his professional boxing debut against one of the greatest fighters of this generation. The WBC even ranked Ngannou in the top 10, a rare honor for a debutant. His boxing journey didn't end there. In March 2024, he faced another boxing titan, Anthony Joshua. Though he lost by knockout in the second round, his willingness to step into uncharted territory cemented his status as one of the most daring and exciting athletes in combat sports. Ngannou's story isn't just about championships or knockouts. It's about breaking barriers and defying expectations. His departure from the UFC, his advocacy for fighter rights, and his relentless pursuit of greatness have redefined what it means to be a fighter. About his house and cars, Francis Ngannou's stunning mansion in Las Vegas, Nevada, serves as a testament to his hard-earned success, offering him a lavish and comfortable space to unwind. But it's his impressive car collection that truly captures the essence of his rise to the top. His garage is a dream for any car enthusiast, boasting some of the most high-end vehicles in the world. Among his prized possessions is the Rolls-Royce Phantom 7, a masterpiece valued at around £421,000, powered by a 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, blending elegance and raw power. Not stopping there, he also owns a Rolls-Royce Ghost, worth £270,600, with a similarly powerful V12 engine. His love for luxury SUVs is evident in his Mercedes-Benz G-Class G63 AMG, a vehicle known for its bold presence and top-tier performance, valued at £127,000. And for those moments when speed calls, he can be seen behind the wheel of his Ferrari 488 GTB, a sleek and powerful sports car that complements his larger-than-life persona. Ngannou's collection isn't just about luxury. It's a symbol of his incredible journey from humble beginnings to global recognition, a reminder that with relentless hard work, even the wildest dreams can be realized. Thank you for tuning in. If you're hungry for more exhilarating boxing stories, dive into our biographies of icons like Mike Tyson and other legendary fighters. Don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for even more knockout content. Stay connected for more epic boxing tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat.